Hey, my wonderful sweet baby. So today I want to talk to you guys about how I feel like Tyla is not even a human being, and the fact that I think that she's a industry plant for African music. So before I get into what I think is a conspiracy theory on Tyla not being a human being as well as her being an industry plant for African music, I want to talk to you guys about the latest that's happened with her. So, the YouTuber and commentator Armon Wiggins actually took to his Instagram and said that he thinks that Tyla is an uppity African. So, these were his exact words. He says, "Hey, I don't think I like Tyla's personality. I think someone needs to check her because she doesn't understand American culture at all. She almost gives off entitled or uppity African. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very off putting and it's almost like she expects people to just fall to her feet." So, if you guys are unaware as to where this is all coming from, pretty much Tyla had won an award on the VMAs 2024. And when she won her award, she was already complaining the minute that she went on stage and grabbed the award of how heavy the award was. So, before she can even give her acceptance speech, she pretty much begged either Holly or Little Nas X to go over there and grab her award so then she can proceed to talk. So, Holly decided that she wasn't going to go over there and grab that award, and Little Nas X actually reached up and grabbed the award on her behalf, which then caused for a lot of people to think that, Holly was definitely giving her that cold shoulder treatment, especially after the fact that, Holly tried to give her acceptance of, the card saying that she was the winner. And when Holly tried to do this, Tyla actually completely disregarded what she was doing and what she was at least trying to give her, and she just completely moseyed on and went about her day. So just Tyla's actions that night just made a lot of people feel like, I'm not a fan of her. Which is why, Armon Wiggins came forth and stated this as well. Now it appears there's no bad blood between Tyla and Holly. They discussed it on Twitter, and both of them didn't take anything towards each other in a negative light. So the both of them are cool. It's just, they felt like social media blew things out of proportion as always. But to make things, even crazier, Tyla actually decided that she was going to put entitled uppity African in her bio on Twitter. Or on X. I'm sorry. It's taking me a bit of time to get used to that. So here's my thoughts. To be honest, when I seen Armon Wiggins say this, I was thinking to myself, finally, somebody else sees it. Because honestly, before her actions even on the VMAs, I honestly was not really a fan of hers. I just feel like at this moment, Tyla's just really showing a lot of people that she's letting the fame get to her head. And I really sit back and I think to myself, is it really the fame that's getting to her head, or is that really just her personality? And it honestly seems to me like she allows for her team to dictate her entire personality, and she doesn't have a personality of her own. Which brings me to the fact of, her being at the award show and making this weird gesture. So pretty much the Asian man and Megan were doing that, god awful catchy song that they're both doing. And when they were performing that song, Tyla was dancing up a storm. But then the minute that she noticed that the camera was watching her, she literally went stone faced. Which I honestly thought was completely weird because if you're at a place that's going to be playing music consistently, you're not allowed to dance. And it made me start to think, like, is this girl even a human being? Because she moves sometimes as if she's being controlled or if she's kind of almost like a robot of some sort. I don't know if you guys remember on the Breakfast Club when Tyla was on there, and when they were asking her all sorts and types of questions, there were tons of questions in which she looked over her shoulder several times to see what her team wanted her to say before she can actually even say an answer. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, well, that's just great PR and great marketing. But to be honest, I don't think that's true. I feel like she's able to at least give her own responses and answers, and her PR team can maybe talk a little bit, but for them to completely control the outline of the interview and tap her on the shoulder and say, we're not talking about that and everything else, it almost seems like she's being controlled. And it almost kind of seems like they're trying to boost her into this character in which they want her to be so on top to where she kind of looks down at everybody as if they're her minions or her, SLAs. And I just honestly find it to be extremely weird that, there's so many African people that have come forth and start doing music, and we've been so obsessed with them. For example, Thames. Thames was literally on fire for like, last year and even the year before. And then all of a sudden, here comes Tyla, and she comes out with a very annoying song, and which are like all of her songs, which are very annoying, but yet very catchy. And the next thing you know, she's on top. Kind of similar to the way that Ice Spice is, which is why I think that Tila's also an industry plant. I honestly think that they're just trying to use Tila's appeal to win over people, and so she can take over and become the face of African music as far as females go. Even though, to be quite honest, she's really not that talented. But that's my opinion. What's yours?